Good evening. My topic is on U.S. immigration. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. This is by Emma Lazarus, and the sonnet is called New Colossus. Many of you have heard of this passage, and it is located on the Statue of Liberty on Liberty Island in New York City. For well over 100 years now, immigrants have been coming into the United States by the thousands, seeking new opportunities, new freedoms, freedom of race, religion, everything that man could possibly want. Now, it just isn't that easy to get into the United States, and since 9/11, our borders have been increasingly smaller due to the fact that security is such a high level now. So in order to gain the passage into the United States, there are several ways that immigrants must take in order to become residents of the United States, whether it be permanent or temporary. Now, there are people here in the United States that have come from immigrant lands, and if those family members want to come back and join their family, then they must do one thing. They must go ahead and go with a visa called family-based immigrant visas. Now, the United States at this point in time only issues 675,000 visas on an average year. Out of that 675,000, 480,000 visas are family-based, but they come at a price. Not everybody who has family here in the United States will be able to receive a family-based immigrant visa. It must be petitioned and then recommended, and then the State Department will go ahead and issue one of those visas. Other types of visas that immigrants can choose to have are the employment-based immigration visas. Now, those are your temporary visas that are good for several years, and then we have the permanent visas. Now, with these visas, they're called lawful permanent resident visas, which some of you know as green cards. Green cards are those temporary visas that they get, but in order to receive their permanent status within the United States, they must maintain a level of respect, decency within the United States. Anytime one of those immigrants that are waiting for the permanent citizenship, they get in trouble, they face deportation. Another type of visa that can be given to immigrants are those visas called the refugee and asylees. Now, the refugee visas, you see a lot of those visas coming in from the Cuban refugees that come down from Havana on the boats into Miami. These are these special cases that are received because there's no turning back. They're not welcome anymore within their country once they say that they are going to declare citizenship with the United States. Another type of visa are those that help out the United States of America with revenue. For instance, athletes. Athletes get special visas from other countries because they bring in the goods and services that the United States really likes, the money. So with that, their visas get stamped pretty fast. You hear a lot of that on baseball players living in Southern America, Latin American countries, coming to the United States, and they're not able to get into spring training because of those visas. They must wait till those work visas are cleared. Now, with these visas, they may go ahead and try to gain U.S. citizenship. But the U.S. citizenship, they must go ahead, write letters to the Department of Homeland Security, visa centers, and try to gain the citizenship, the naturalization process, which takes several years for them to do. So they must study, pass the test in order for immigrants to become U.S. citizens. We've all heard the President on what he had said about the illegal immigrants. They must stay here for more than 5 years and they'll gain an amnesty, things of that nature. But if immigrants want to do this the right way, the way for it was intended, they must go through this process of talking with the Department of Homeland Security, which you can see on their website, www.dhs.com, or www.immigrantpolicies.org. You can read all about it in those two websites to gain more information on becoming a U.S. citizen. Thank you.